Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. Today, I want to talk about the sentiments that Rigathi Gachagua actually made when he was on Obina's show. And those sentiments have actually been discussed by very many political analysts and in various political stations. But sometimes I feel that those analyses, they miss something very important. And those sentiments that Rigathi Gachagua actually made when he was on Obina's show about 2008, 2007, 2008 post-election violence, linking it to what might happen late come 2027 if IEBC will force William Samoei Arap Ruto on the people of this nation. Because Rigathi Gachagua said that if IEBC will bungle election and will force William Samoei Arap Ruto on the people of this nation, then 2027 presidential election will actually look as 2007, 2008 post-election violence will actually be like Christmas party. That is actually what Rigathi Gachagua said, that Kenya will not be the same. That means we will have more violence late come 2027 if election will be buckled. And those sentiments, for me, I can say they were reckless and irresponsible. And Kenyans of goodwill must come out and condemn those kind of inflammatory sentiments, because I feel that we forget very fast about what happened 2007, 2008, because any person who was at that time during 2007, 2008 post-election violence will not actually want to be reminded about what happened, because it was bloody, it was bad, it was chaotic. We nearly lost this country to the dogs. And remember what is happening in Somalia. It is now around 25 years, and the people of Somalia have not gotten any peace. You remember also what happened in Rwanda, the genocide in Rwanda. It started slowly by people castigating another tribe, by people trying to abuse another tribe, by actually coming up with those kind of sentiments. But they had to build up until those kind of sentiments, they caused what we call Rwanda genocide. And Kenyans must be very, very careful, more so the political class, because I don't have a problem with Kenyans, but I have a big problem with the political class of this nation. Sometimes what they speak out of their mouths, it's unfortunate. They always make people who have always lived together to look at each other in suspicion, to look at each other as enemies. So those sentiments by Rigathi Gachagua was actually unfortunate. And I want you to play for you that video so that at least you can listen to the message that Rigathi Gachagua was trying to put across. And after you listen to that, we will be back so that we can dissect that into greater logic. But before we dive in, so that we can listen to that, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like. Share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, it's good to request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And always make sure to smash the bell button. Because once you smash the bell button, you give YouTube a leeway so that you can get notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. Now, listen to what Rigathi Gachagua had to say.
If that IBC tries to mess with the election,
okay,
there will be no country here. 207 will look like a Christmas party. I can tell you. And I want to implore those commissioners to be Kenyans, to be patriotic, and not to attempt to force William Ruto on the people of Kenya. It will not work. The people of Kenya will not accept it. People want change, and they are ready for change.
After listening to that, you can agree with me that those sentiments by Rigathi Gachagua were quite reckless. Those sentiments by Rigathi Gachagua were very irresponsible, and Kenyans must come out to condemn that in the strongest term possible. And we must always know that even if the election will be bungled, we have a process which we have to take. If anything of that happens, and we understand that if elections doesn't go the way you want, then we have the courts. And that is where we will take our argument. And if you can prove that the elections were bungled, then there is a very high likelihood that those elections will be repeated. And because we have put different systems in our constitution, because we have put a system you must follow, whenever elections are not done in good faith, whenever elections are not done free and fair. So the constitution has a framework for that. So by Rigathi Gachagua coming up with those kind of sentiments, it is unfortunate. How can you say about something when you know very well that if IBC will bungle election, then you will take IBC to court? And if you prove that it bungled the election, then we can have a repeat of that kind of election. So it is what we have put, the processes which we have put on us, we must be able to follow them. We must be ready to know that if this happens, we have a process to take. If that happens, there is a process already which have been prescribed by the constitution. And those processes have been put there so that we cannot start blaming each other. We cannot cause chaos, and we must respect those processes, whether we like them or not, because those are the processes we have put on us. So by Rigathi saying that if the election will be bungled, 2027 presidential election will be or will appear as what happened 2007, 2008. It will be like a Christmas party. It is unfortunate. And we must all understand that Kenya ni mama, Kenya ni baba. And if we understand like that, then we must know that we don't have any Kenya where we will run to if we destroy this Kenya we have. I remember the late president, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, used to say, Kenya ni baba, Kenya ni mama. And nothing less than that, because this is where we live. And we must be very careful with the sentiments we actually bring out of our mouths. We must not be reckless. We must be responsible, and more so, the political class. Because all along, the political class, as we approach elections, they always make Kenyans to fight for no good reason. Because they want to fulfill their ambitions. They want to use the Kenyans for their selfish interest. So, what Rigathi Gachagua had to say, actually for me I say it was unfortunate that such a leader who has reached the national level can actually come, can sit, can be interviewed, and he can be able to bring out those kinds of words. Some people say that, remember, we should not blame Rigathi, and we should address the first sentiments about IBC bungling the elections and forcing William Samoei Ruto on Kenyans. And then we liken that to 2007, 2008 post-election violence happening in 2027. It is unfortunate. If we look at developed democracies, they always have their processes and they always respect their processes. And that is why they have never fought. For example, look at America. When they do election, you will find one person can win what we call the majority votes. But another person will win the electoral college. The majority votes is directly from the people. The electoral college is from the representative of the people. And sometimes we feel that the majority votes should actually make somebody a president. But because in the United States, they have accepted that if you win electoral college, you become the president of that nation. So even if you win the majority votes, but you don't win the electoral college, you cannot be the president of the United States of America. And the people have actually accepted that process. And they have always accepted the processes of their courts, the verdicts of their courts. And we, the Kenyans, must run from that. Because if you feel that the elections of this nation have been bungled, you know where to go. If it is for presidency, you will go to the Supreme Court of Kenya. And then you will illustrate to the judges why you believe that the elections were bungled. And if they get that what you are saying is true, then definitely we will have a repeat of those elections. But if they say nothing of that sort happened, even if you cannot agree with that verdict, then, or you don't like that verdict, then you must agree with it because you have nothing to do. And that's why we are saying that Kenya is bigger than an individual. And if we have the processes which we have put to safeguard us from fighting, then we must always respect those kind of processes. And that I mean, you cannot, as an individual, you cannot be the person who is complaining. Then you become also the church. The person who could say, this is right, this is wrong. It's not possible. You must have other people coming within. And for Rigathi Gachagua, he must know that. So, what Rigathi Gachagua, the Rigathi sentiments were actually unfortunate for us. So what do you think about those unfortunate sentiments of Rigathi Gachagua? Do you think they were fair? And do you think we must probably look and dissect those sentiments into bits and look at them? Do you think what Rigathi Gachagua did was the right thing to do on the public? Please, I would like you to drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And for those ones who have subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you, because you are always behind our inspiration. And with that, I say thank you until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.